I'm Coach Crystal, an ex-Broadway performer turned online Christian health coach and maintenance expert. I discovered my true calling, helping women like you break free from the weight loss cycle and build a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Each week, I'll be joined by a special co-host to share how faith, fitness, and family help me and can help you. This is Fit Beyond 40. So, what is on the menu, Coach Janae?
Oh, that's appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
nutrition and fitness.
Yes. No, actually, I was going to ask you, like, one of the beautiful things of our program is you do something called Foodie Friday.
Yes.
And you literally, it's like your own little miniature cooking show where you share your inside secrets on how to make comfort food healthy.
Yes.
And when I think about, oh my gosh, to be honest, everything you've made is absolutely delicious. So I'm like, what is my favorite thing that you've ever made? Oh my gosh. Okay. Admittedly, your cheese dip,
Right.
which is made of cashews,
Yes. Yes.
is not ridiculously, redonkulously good.
It's so good.
It is
Yes.
so...
It's
It's like not even amazing. It's amazing.
You can,
balls.
and the great thing is that it, like, really, you can just have it as the meal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I just have a bowl of that.
It has been.
Yeah.
It has been a meal
Yeah.
for me. And it's so good.
It's really
I mean, you've done ice cream.
Yeah.
You've done cakes. You've done
yes. Cookies.
cookies.
All the sweet treats.
Okay. And I am admittingly, I am a carboholic. I cannot live without bagels. You have mastered protein bagels.
Yes.
Which blows my flipping mind.
So good.
Your protein buns are next level.
Protein bread.
Protein
too.
bread.
For those that like the yeasty kind of taste of bread, right? Same thing. It's just
This
all
is
high
why
in protein.
I call you literally like you're a mad scientist in the kitchen, because you are just able to find ways, and you're also vegan.
Yeah.
You find ways to make delicious, normally foods that will expand your waist. Talk about shrinking your waist. So,
Yeah.
Today's episode, you're right. I wanted to continue on our conversation about our fitness and nutrition pillars, because we talked all about mindset in our last episode, which deserved its own episode because mindset matters most.
Yes, it does.
But today I'd love, to continue your journey when you were a client. Yes, you had it was different per se because you were in studio.
Yeah.
However, we've recorded hundreds of those workouts. So really our online students right now are doing the workouts you did in the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah.
But I would love, let's talk about fitness. Now, you're in a very unique journey yourself, but I'm just going to touch upon our average woman that comes to us. On average, they have 30 to about 60 plus pounds to release.
Yeah.
They may have had some exercise experience and have most likely fallen off or have been inconsistent for a really long time. Some are, only a few, to be honest, are like you, where have done all the things and are kind of confused as to why they're doing all the things and they're still gaining weight or are stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But ultimately, most women, it's weight loss is their primary goal.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly intermediate, advanced exercisers, although we have a handful that join us.
Yeah.
Most are the average women who just are not consistent with their workouts.
Yeah.
So they'll come in, and what we do is we have fitness challenges. And the reason why we have these fitness challenges is because when you think of a long-term goal, it can feel daunting to think, like, even a year can seem like forever.
Yeah.
And although these women, in reality, to release the weight, but more importantly, keep it off for good, will take a year or more, we don't want them to come in feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So we offer these miniature fitness challenges so that they can think of the 30 days.
Yes.
They can think of the 8 weeks. They can think of the 12 weeks. Because your mind, it's almost like, okay,
even like us, when we have a fitness competition around the corner, we like shifted a gear
Oh, for sure.
when we know we've got 16 weeks,
Yes.
when we've got 12 weeks. Like
Yes.
something happens when you're like,
it's different.
It's different. Like
Yeah.
there's more urgency.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we have the 30 Day Strong, which primarily focuses on strength building.
Yeah.
We have the 75 Hard, our version of 75 Hard, which takes the same principles, which, and what I love about 75 Hard is the creator of it, he says, you know, so as long as you're doing 2 45-minute workouts, you're drinking this much water, you're, you know, it really, and whatever nutrition plan you're following, so as long as you're following it for 75 consecutive days.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Yep.
the concept of 75 Hard.
Because it's consistency.
It's
teaching
consistency, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've seen really great results with our
Yeah.
women who have done 75 Hard.
Yeah.
Then after that, we have our 12-week Bulletproof in Body, which introduces HIIT training.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we have our very first, I think it's our OG of challenges, our 8-week Little Black Dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
With full intention to get into that little black dress.
Black
We
dress.
ask our ladies to find a dress that's in their closet that's a little too tight,
Yeah.
or we challenge them to go out and buy one that's 1, 2, maybe 3 sizes too small. And that's the goal.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then we have our 12-week Merry Maintenance, which is
Yes.
obviously to carry us through the holidays,
Right.
and with the sole intention of maintaining. And I forgot to say in our last episode, if they gain weight, there is
Oh, yes, the penalty.
The penalty. So
Yeah.
for every pound gained as a collective,
Yes.
for every pound gained, it equates to a number of burpees that we have to do
Yes.
as everyone, as a
Yes.
whole.
Yeah. We win as a team or we lose. as a
Exactly.
team,
One
right?
team, one tribe.
Yes.
That is our mantra.
Yeah.
So there's burpees that we have to do. There is how the length of a plank.
Yeah.
There is, I believe, sit-ups.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think push-ups.
yeah.
And so, but if women lose weight, we will minus it.
Yes.
So luckily, we've had,
Yeah, we had a
Coach
few,
Nicole
yeah.
lost 19 pounds, Ina lost a few pounds, Tiffany lost 7 pounds. So perhaps we won't have to do burpees and push-ups.
Yeah. Because the coaches have to
We
do
have to do it
too.
too, exactly. So, but all of that to say, with the fitness, we make it fun.
Yeah.
And we really believe in functional fitness. And what we mean by that is that our women who are the general population who just want to live, like to be able to do things like hiking,
Yeah.
climbing up a flight of stairs without getting winded,
Yeah.
swimming,
Yeah.
biking,
Getting down on the carpet to play with their kids.
exactly,
Right? Like,
gardening
Yes,
without
yeah.
breaking their back and their
Yeah,
knees. So
yeah.
that's why we call it functional fitness, is because our whole intention is for our women to do the things that they love to do pain-free.
yes. Yeah.
So, you know, but your story is very unique in that we did release the weight. You weren't new to exercise. In fact, I would call you an intermediate advanced exerciser. And when I turned 40, I did my first fitness competition to celebrate my 40th birthday. You were in the audience, weren't you?
Not in your
that
first
one?
one. No.
Oh, okay, my
No.
second one.
Yeah. it was
Okay.
the second one.
And I was like, I remember being on that stage and thinking, wow, every woman over 40 must experience this.
Yes.
It is so empowering.
Yeah.
You just feel so good. And I'm
It
like,
does, yeah. You love
other
that
women
moment.
have to feel this.
Yeah.
And so as I was building actually, were you in my first team? I think you were in my second team.
Yeah.
My-
No, I was in the first team.
Were you in my first team?
Yeah.
No, because my first team only
Right,
consisted of
it
one
was one.
person. It was
That's right.
Maureen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So I approached you because I would speak to the women in R3 who I thought were already in the right mindset, first and foremost,
Yeah.
and who are ready to take their fitness to the next level. Recall back when I approached you.
Yes.
What were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, my thoughts were like, well, yeah, of course I would want to do that, right? Like, yes, I want to do that. But you had planted that seed like way back in the beginning.
I did.
Right? And it was kind of like, well, you know, like I actually almost did one when I was in my 20s. And I would love to be able to see it through. And I remember even that first kind of conversation around it, although that seed was planted, I didn't really think that day would ever come, right? Because you can, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, where you have these big goals, these lofty kind of, dreams that you want to do. But in the back of your mind, you don't really think that they would ever be something that you could achieve. Like they're nice to dream about, but they wouldn't ever happen for real. Right. So, that was kind of like where my head was at, really. And then when you were actually like really putting the team together, and it was like, okay, if you're serious about this, we're going to move forward with it. Number one, so I think this is like definitely a childhood thing, but when you are promised something and then that person never follows through, you tend to carry this with your life of like not expecting the best out of people, right? And you kind of expect like not the worst, but you just don't get your hopes up. You're just like, oh, they probably forgot, or they don't really care, right? Like you just that's what you grow up to believe, right? Like people will say things and in nonchalance, and that's how I was living my adult life. When people would say things to me, where I just would not take it for real, right? Like it's just, oh, you're just something you say, right? Oh, you're just being nice, like you don't really mean it. So I have to say that when it came time to like, okay, we're gonna commit to this and we're gonna put together a plan, that you came to me and that we had another conversation about it was so impactful to me, to believe that this wasn't just like a off the cuff kind of comment.
Yeah.
This meant something.
Yes.
Right. And it was like, this person really believes in me. And so I think that was like the first opportunity I had to think of myself that way too. Right. So if Coach Crystal can believe in me, maybe I can believe in me too.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So like, and there are people that will do what they say, right? There are people that will remember something that they said to you, or they will follow through with promises, or you know what I mean? Like, and then that encourages you to do the same thing, right? So it's kind of like contagious. So I think, and having done all of that mindset work, right, was really put me in the right place to start believing in that I could follow it through. It wasn't just a nice to have kind of dream. I could do it, right? And so, we had our plan. We went through all the motions, and it was mostly just follow the program. Just follow the program, right?
Yeah.
Just trust in that.
Exactly.
Just do the work, right? So not just acting like a robot and following it through, but like actually putting in a little bit extra, like making sure that I was doing everything that I had to do, and tracking and checking in, and like just everything. And that moment of being backstage when you're all tanned up and you're jeweled up and you've got the bikini on and everything else, and like that moment before your name is called to go walk the stage, that moment of realization of like, okay, I followed through. Like, I'm actually here. Like that thing that I thought of way back when that I would never, ever do. Not because like I just couldn't do it, but because I didn't believe that I was the type of person that would be able to achieve that. Right? Like I literally believed that I was not the person that could put in that kind of hard work.
Yes.
And see the results and see the success. And a lot of times, like, that is for sure something that prevents us from losing the 20, the 30 pounds, right?
100%.
Seeing it through is because we don't believe that we deserve it.
Yes.
So we don't work for it.
Yes.
Or we don't believe that we are capable
That's
of
right.
even, going down that road.
Yeah.
And, all like it was a whole year. The whole year, I didn't really stop and reflect and think like, oh, I'm doing it. It wasn't that. I was just like so in the moment of like,
what do I need to do today?
Yeah, today this is my plan,
That's
and
it.
just checking off the check boxes,
Exactly.
right? The things that I needed to do. And it wasn't until again, like right before my name was called, having that realization, that moment of like, wait a minute, I'm here.
I'm going
I did it.
to
Oh my
step on
God.
a stage in this itty bitty bikini. Yes.
And then you feel really good.
Yes.
You feel really good that yes, you accomplished something, but you did what you said that you were going to do,
Yes.
right? You followed
You
through. It
kept
was
your
one
promise to
thing
yourself.
you didn't give up on, right? Because we do that a lot too.
100%.
We give up on a lot of things for a variety of different reasons. Like life just happens. You get married, you have kids, you have different obligations. Like you have to switch priorities. I get
Deadlines.
that.
My kids got sick.
100%. And sometimes those things will happen. And yes,
Yes.
you do have to put things on pause. Like that. Yeah. for
Pause,
sure.
not give up completely.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yes, big difference. I mean, at the time, I think that's what we tell ourselves is
Yeah.
that we're pausing.
Yeah, but let's
right?
be real.
Until there's a better time, but there's
Yes.
never a better time.
That is one of my, I really detest that.
yes.
Now's not the time. It's like when having a kid. There's never going to be a right
No.
time. There is never a perfect time.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, okay, why do you need to find a perfect time to get healthy?
Yeah.
Like, how much time have you already wasted
Yes.
not being healthy?
Yes.
Not feeling good in your own skin,
Yeah.
feeling embarrassed, wondering if people are talking about you, tugging at your clothes because you feel uncomfortable because
Yeah.
you're bulging all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
what a waste of time.
Yes.
And I think to myself, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Why not now?
Yeah.
You know? And so I love that, that you because you literally walked and felt what I felt when I stepped on the stage and thought, every woman needs to feel this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not even about the accolades. It's not about that. It's that you followed through.
Yeah.
I always say to our girls, it's not about the day of the competition. It's who you become along the way. That is what you're celebrating.
Yeah.
And so, for you in particular, I think, and we do have women actually right now who are in our program, but are also training to compete this year.
Yep.
We have women in Canada and in the United States that are competing. So really, all of that to say, when it comes to functional fitness, whether you are a beginner at working out and are just trying to learn how to be consistent, to taking your fitness to the next level and wanting to compete, we serve the gamut.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We have that expertise to kind of cross
Exactly.
everything. And when you're ready to progress
Yes.
and ready to move to the next level,
Yes.
like we have that ready for you, right?
Exactly.
It's not just for beginners
Exactly.
or just
we will
for...
always challenge you.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
funny because so many women are like, does it get easier? And I say, no,
it should
but you're
not.
getting stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once upon a time, your warm up will be your workout will be your warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When that day will come is up to you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But it'll come.
But what a great feeling when that happens, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right? And then that's when you really start to appreciate and love your body
Yes.
because of its potential and because of the things that you have been able to accomplish with
And
it.
what you realize you're capable of.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
I mean, I even love celebrating the small wins, which we do, of, oh my gosh, coach, I can touch my toes. Before I couldn't touch my toes. Or I can hold a plank like
Yes.
10 seconds longer. That's
Yes.
huge.
Exactly.
Because that
Yes.
requires to be consistent in order to achieve that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, obviously with competing, the biggest component is nutrition. Now, nutrition in our philosophy, when it comes to R3, our nutrition philosophy is simple, mindful nutrition. And the reason why we want to make it simple is because I think that so many women who have been on a diet, it's too restrictive, it's too hard to follow, and that's why 99.9% women quit. They say it's too hard.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we have a lot of women that come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different experiences. So when they first come to us, there are like very basic things. Number one is cut the crap.
Yeah.
And that looks like the high sugar carbonated drinks. That is, processed foods.
Yeah.
That is, so number one, cut the crap. That's one of the things that we focus on. Number two, intake of water, we increase that.
Oh, yeah.
Number three, protein with every meal is huge. And then number four, we increase our veg and fruit. So that's like the
bare minimum.
like that's where we begin. And
Yes.
then, as, because that might already be a big deal for
change,
someone
yeah.
who depends on Chick-fil-A every day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
from there, then the next step is, okay, so we have different programs because we believe one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah.
Every body is different. So there are some women who like structure. And if they like structure, something like the fast metabolism diet, which Coach Pat is very familiar with, and she leads the women that want to follow that program. We have that as an option.
Yeah.
We have something called Palm Portion Control,
Right.
which is rooted from Precision Nutrition, in which I'm a certified coach in, which looks like, okay, so your protein is the size of your palm, your fat is the size of your thumb,
Yep.
your carbs, is a cupped handful.
Which is a great tool to use when you're on vacation.
Well, you take this with you, like
Yeah.
it comes with you wherever you go.
Wherever
like
you
can't.
go, you have no excuse.
It
Right?
comes with you to Mexico when there's a buffet, right? So it's one
Family
of those
meals,
tools.
there you go.
Exactly,
Yeah.
buffets, your
Yeah.
social events.
Yeah.
So we teach palm portion control. That's another avenue. Then we have a little bit more advanced, where we as athletes and those ladies that want to compete, we follow a practice and a tool called If It Fits Your Macros,
Yeah.
in which there is, through a calculation, a specific amount of protein, carbs, and fats that you are allotted per day.
Yeah.
And over the week, this is how many calories you're going to consume.
Yep.
Calories are king, so that's important. But even with that practice, there are 3 levels as well.
Yes.
And that also evolves depending on where you are in your periodization, where your training is.
Yeah,
Whether you're in
yeah.
a cutting phase, a building phase,
Yeah.
and maintenance, your macros will evolve and change. But the beautiful thing, why I love If It Fits Your Macros, even as a lifestyle, is because through maintenance, because we do it so often, and you and I are, well, most people are creatures of habit, but we also like what we like, and we
Yeah.
don't mind
Yeah.
eating the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It makes life easier
Yeah, it
because
does.
now I'm confident in looking at if these are my macros for the day. For example, I went to my aunt's birthday and it was at a Chinese buffet, and I literally build my poke bowl the exact same way that I do at home.
Yeah.
And I do it every single day.
Yeah.
Now, the only difference is I had to scrape off the extra sauce on the salmon.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right, yeah.
But I still had my rice was my base,
Yeah.
my veggies, and then my protein.
Yeah.
And it was easy. And I felt guilt-free at the Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
Because I ate what I would normally eat. I came prepared. P.S. I had a smoothie on my way there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my
Yeah.
leg workout earlier that morning.
Yep.
And I did like a 20-minute, 30-minute walk after the buffet. So I felt great. I didn't
Yeah.
feel bloated.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't feel guilty.
Yep.
So that's what we mean by simple mindful nutrition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so one of the things that you offer inside our program is a fitness and nutrition 101 call. So I'd love for you to share, like, what is the benefit of attending this kind of call? Because there's a lot of weight loss programs out there, and they kind of like give you your nutrition plan. They're like, good luck, bye. Like,
Yeah.
but for us, we have a mindset mastery call. We
Yeah.
have literally a support call, which I like. It's called Deepen Your Why. I like to call it our version of AA.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
life happens, it's kind of like, hi, my name's Crystal and I'm an alcoholic. Like, hi, my name's Crystal and I ate a pizza that I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's
Yeah.
a place where
Yeah.
it's safe
Yes.
to admit, but we believe in failing forward.
Yes.
So we admit what we did was wrong. What did we learn from it? How can we avoid it from happening again?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
there's your call, which is really educational.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to kind of share about that.
I mean, a lot of it is going to be, so what I love about the fitness and nutrition call is it usually stems from the questions and the comments that we get from the members,
Yeah.
right? So that's definitely, if you have a question like, why should I eat this instead of this? Like,
Yes.
what's the truth around this? Or, like, what is all of that? So that's where it kind of stems from. And we I like to, when it comes to the nutrition component, we debunk some of the myths that are out
Yes,
there. And
you do, which is
especially
awesome.
with like social media these days, like I think it's kind of funny because like a meme will go around or a GIF or something, right? Like some fancy little post with some words on it, and all of a sudden that becomes like that becomes law. That is the truth, right? And it's like there's no citing of sources, there's no scientific fact behind it, but somehow it becomes this very popular belief,
Absolutely.
right? And it could be something as simple as like, oh, sweet potatoes are so much better for you than white potatoes. Never eat another white potato ever again.
That is like one of my go-tos.
I know. White potatoes are so good for you.
Roasted potatoes are amazing.
The highest on the satiety index, right?
100%.
So they will make you feel the most satisfied,
Yes.
right? right? And yes, sweet potatoes are wonderful and they're good and they do have nutrition.
Or don't eat fruit because they're full of sugar.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it is, yeah, so we go into a lot of the conversation behind, like, number one, where some of that stuff came from.
Yes.
And let's break it down and understand, and then let's look at the actual scientific facts behind and the scientific studies that either prove or disprove that, right? So we've talked about like everything from all of the artificial sweeteners out there,
Yes.
right? Everybody's like, oh, but I thought I wasn't supposed to have aspartame. Actually, it's totally fine.
Yes.
If you eat like 4,000 times the recommended dose, maybe
100%.
bad for you.
Yes. Yeah.
But like, who's ever gonna, like, that's almost impossible.
Well,
right?
I'm guilty of
Impossible.
once upon a time saying, oh, never drink Diet Coke. But actually, it's not bad.
Exactly. And you know
Yeah.
what, the thing, and I think what we, in our overall program, not just in the call, what we really advocate for is you're going to make the changes in your life that you're going to be able to be consistent with.
Yes.
So if that means replacing a regular Coke with a Diet Coke,
Yes.
100%.
Beautiful.
Right
Yeah.
now, that is fantastic.
Exactly.
I'd love to see you drinking more water one day,
Yes.
right? But let's take one step at a time,
Yes.
right? So that's what that means, right? And if that means, taking away 5 candy bars a day,
Yes.
and maybe you have 1 candy bar during the week at some point, okay, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, progress instead of perfection,
Yes.
right? So that is really what that call is kind of really supporting as well, is the lifestyle changes that you can make around your diet, like and looking at fast food choices, right? So we often
What
look
is
at
the best option
Exactly.
if you have to go to Chick-fil-A?
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of people will pick the salad, and
Yeah.
no, and we've debunked that and showed
Yes.
like, actually, if you just have a grilled chicken sandwich,
Exactly.
yeah, you're
As
better
opposed to that
off.
Cobb salad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, but it's more than just do this and don't do that.
Right.
We get into the why.
Yeah.
So that my hope, the intent is that you're walking away from this making your own
Knowledgeable.
decision.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I want you, although we're talking about this one subject, you need to apply that same thought process behind all of the subjects that are out there. So when you are bombarded with all these new fancy things on social media and you're getting all the ads,
Gluten-free.
yeah, right. Like, I often still have friends come to me like, well, with suggestions of like, oh, we can go here to eat, or we can do this, we can do that, because they offer gluten-free. I'm like, guys, I don't have celiac disease.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine. Like, gluten
Yes.
is not the enemy. Okay, I
Exactly.
have no sensitivity for it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
Like for some people, obviously yes, but for most of us,
And
no.
that's the thing. Like, make sure you're tested, right? Like, don't
Yeah.
just assume.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Don't
Yeah.
be your own doctor.
Yeah.
Right. So
100%. And don't
yeah.
let Google be your doctor.
Yeah, it goes without saying, right? But not only just nutrition, but we talk about fitness too. We've
Yes.
had some really great, different kind of focalized stretching classes where we focus on kind of like loosening up the upper back,
Especially
and
if
the
you're sitting at a
shoulders,
desk all day.
100%. The hips, those tend to be the two probably most
Biggest.
common, right? Like is the upper back and the shoulder area, and then the lower back as well as knees, right?
Yes.
And we'll often go through different exercises to show, okay, if you have bad knees, here's a really great alternative.
Yes.
Because although our videos our workouts are very comprehensive
Yes.
in allowing for all different mobility levels and different fitness levels, if there's any more additional, like
Exactly.
I can't even do the regression.
Yes.
I can't even do what
is my option?
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
then that is where we can show. It's also a really great point if you need us to look at your form.
Yes.
Right. Then we'll say, okay, like hop on camera, let's see
Let
your
me see.
form and let's correct it. Right.
Yes.
Let's make sure that you don't hurt your back and you
100%.
don't have an injury, because the moment you get injured, now you're down.
Yes.
Right. And now you have to, and we will force you down because you need to rest and recover, because it'll just like compound the situation even further and
Yeah.
result in even longer time off.
And at the same time, too, if there are injuries and whatnot, we do have chair workouts available.
Yeah.
So Coach Pat is the team lead for that. And
Yeah.
so, if you are, you are coming off of a really bad flu and you need to slowly make your way to working out, or if you have an injury or you're, that's where the chair workouts, come into play.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we really try to tailor our program to, it's very unique, it's personalized, it's customized.
Yeah. And at that point too, if you are injured and you need to take time off of working out, then we can adjust your nutrition plan as well. Right?
Exactly.
Because there's these other components
that you
It's not
shouldn't stop
yes,
just because you can't work out
exactly.
anymore.
And that is
Yeah.
what tends to happen.
Oh, 100%.
Right? You get hurt, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, like
You start
everything
eating
else,
bad. And you're like,
everything
wait a
else
minute.
unravels.
Okay, but your knee, you hurt your knee. What's wrong with your mouth? Your mouth still
Yeah.
functions well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you still should be eating
Yeah.
healthy.
Yes.
You know, and I remember
You still
actually
need to come to the mindset calls.
Exactly.
And you still
I
need
was
to,
going to
right?
make a point where I remember one of our students. She was at the hospital and she joined the mindset call. She was literally in her
Yeah.
hospital bed, and I was like, "See, perfect example. There's nothing wrong with your mind."
Right.
Okay, you're stuck in
And
a
what better
bed.
what better time to do that? Like, what else are you going to do? number one?
Exactly.
And like, you're already probably feeling pretty bad and stuff. So that
100%.
mindset call will really, really help. Right.
Yeah. I just really wanted to touch really super quickly on the ACT, the Accountability Community and Time.
Yeah.
So accountability, we have our student success manager, Coach Nick.
Yeah.
She does either a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly check-in. It's a 10-minute call where it's just a touch base with what is the number one obstacle you are facing, what are 3 options or solutions to that obstacle, and out of those 3, which is the one that
Yeah.
you feel you can do and focus on, and that is like a 10 out of 10 you can do.
Yeah.
So we have those 131 calls, and some of our ladies need a deeper dive with life coaching, so they might need, because they're whatever circumstance, they need that extra life coaching. So we have that. And then, of course, the accountability within the group. We've had. I remember one of our students. She literally went live inside the group, and she was like, "Girls, I really want to go in the drive-thru. Is anyone listening? Help!" Right? And then, boom! All the ladies are like, "Don't go. Keep driving.
Yeah.
Just go home." Right?
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing when you have like this sisterhood, this community of women that are looking out for you.
Yeah.
And then, that to speaking to community, and then of course, time, where, we really teach women, okay, get married to your Google Calendar. And what I love is when we create time for the things that are required, we don't name them workouts. So I ask the girls, how do you feel after a workout? Empowered, accomplished. And then I say, okay, instead of putting workout in your Google Calendar, put feeling empowered time.
Yeah.
Feeling accomplished time.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel when, you're eating? I'm fueling myself. Okay, so instead of lunch, put fueling time.
Yeah.
So we also shift so that we look at all of these things, from working out, meal prepping, journaling. We no longer have like looking at it as though it's a chore, but rather a privilege.
Yeah.
And that mindset shift as well helps women to realize, wow, like a healthy lifestyle, I'm privileged to be able to eat healthy foods. What a privilege it is to be able to work out.
Yeah.
What a privilege it is to, fuel my mind and, practice these balancing self-care practices. What a privilege.
Yeah. And
that's where women feel like, wow, this lifestyle is not just to lose weight, but rather it's a way of honoring me, respecting this vessel that I've been blessed with, right?
Absolutely. It teaches prioritization.
Yeah, and that
right?
you
We
are
can
a priority.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, when you're healthy in mind, body, and spirit, everyone else is the one who benefits.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because you have more energy for them. You're not hangry.
Yeah.
You are more present. You're not as self-conscious. So
Yeah.
you're all about them instead of all about you.
Yeah.
Because so many of our women, once upon a time, they're so in their head and so
Yes.
self-conscious that they're not fully present.
Yeah, exactly. It's always about like how do I look right now?
Yeah,
How am
or
I
they're
looking?
judging,
How,
or they think I'm fat.
Yeah, exactly.
like, yeah.
Yeah, that's no way to live.
No.
There's such a better way.
Yes.
Right?
1,000%. Fit Beyond 40 is living your best life now, because it is short. And, we really want to teach our women to shift their mindset primarily, and that being thoroughly fit is possible. Like the word impossible in itself embeds I'm possible.
Yeah.
And that's what we teach. That's what we pride in, right?
Yep.
And I see it in you. And that's why I was like, okay, you are ready to be a coach. Right? You are ready to be a coach. And that's the thing. All of our coaches are graduates from our program.
Yeah, we've all been through it.
All been through it,
Yep.
have been in their shoes, and have obviously done the certifications to become coaches, but it's so unique that every single coach was a student first.
Yeah.
Every single coach.
Yeah. We know what it feels like.
Exactly.
We know what it feels like to have our clothes too tight.
Yes.
Right? We know what it feels like to stand in the back of the crowd of the family photo.
Yes.
Right? So only your head
or
is showing.
volunteer to take the photo so that
Yes.
you're not in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or always putting your kids in front of you in the
Yeah,
pictures.
exactly.
Right?
And just
Like,
sticking your head out.
yeah, all those little tricks we've done.
We
them,
know.
right?
We know.
We know what that feels like.
Exactly.
Right?
We're like, come on this side.
Yeah, it's
Come
better
over
over here. You stand in front of the picture.
Yeah. Front and center.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Well, Coach Danae, I'm very proud of you.
Oh,
thank you for sharing your
thank
journey.
you. Of course.
And I think next episode, I think we should talk a little bit more about. I'd like to touch upon the spiritual part of it. You know, because for some of our ladies, there is that option who are wanting to walk, and I think that could, like, the faith part of it, and I think also developing, you know, faith in yourself.
Yeah.
I think we can talk about that.
I like that.
But how faith is also, you know, I look at, you know, it's like six puzzle pieces. You've got, you know, 6 of them, as in your mindset, one puzzle piece, your fitness, nutrition, accountability, community, and time. But the glue that keeps those pieces together is your faith. And I think that's something that we should touch upon while we're kind of sharing our mission and philosophies.
Yes. I like it. Good plan.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to do vegan this time. I'm going to have a what is that? What's
You
that
did the
burger?
Beyond Burger.
Beyond Burger.
Yeah, or the Impossible Burger. I can never tell
I think
the difference between
I think
the two,
Beyond.
but either, yeah,
I think it was.
I'll do a Beyond Burger.
Okay.
too.
Oh, cheers to Beyond
Yes,
Burgers.
yes,
Cheers. Okay.
I just swallow it instantly. You chew.
You swallow it like a duck. You don't even chew. Girl, it causes indigestion. You still
Talking about food problems.
You chew your air. Episode 3.
Okay. Down. High five.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fit Beyond 40 podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and catch every new release on your favorite listening platform.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay inspired and connected. And if you're looking for a supportive community on your fitness and life journey, come join us in our free Facebook group called Fit Beyond 40 for Women. And if you have any questions in regards to fitness, nutrition, or mindset, go ahead and pop them below and we'll make sure to answer your questions. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a